recording. Welcome to class once again, everyone. This is the continuation of our CorelDRAW class. So, from our previous class, we've established the why it's necessary for us to define our workspace. So, the first thing I'm going to do is to define our workspace, and we want to make this flyer. Let me bring it in. This is a flyer I'm going to be using to teach us. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to be using this to teach us today. Let me shut down source software so we don't have problem. I was editing video. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to be redesigning this flyer, this particular flyer. Okay, so this is what we are going to be redesigning, and clearly by saying this, the work is a 4 by 5 inches design. So our parameter, our unit is in inches. Then let's define our workspace. 4 by 5, and that is done. So I told you double click on the rectangle tool, 1 2. So I've double clicked. So I've created our space. Let me give it a color. And I told you, for those that were here yesterday, you remove the outline, right? One of the things you are going to do is we need a background. And yesterday I mentioned one of the places you can get design elements like images, background. I told you can do that randomly on Google if it's background. But if it's some images to use for your design, I don't want you to go there. I recommended 3 websites yesterday. I said,
are you presenting on screen?
yes, I'm presenting. Can't you see my screen? My screen is showing.
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can't see my screen? If you can't see my, is there any other person? Can you see my screen? Other persons, please confirm.
Yes, screen. Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, I recommended these 3 websites. One is unsplash.com, one is freepik.com, one is Pinterest or pinterest.com. So I recommend for to go our because you need your elements to be able to design. So I recommend that we get that. We start with them. They are off free platforms. So you can just go there and get the background. So I want to continue. I want us to continue because of how my internet is behaving. Let me just lift the things I downloaded from this place. Like, this is the first background that I got from this place. I downloaded this background. Maybe don't feel bad if you don't see it. I downloaded this background and I want to change it back to the way I downloaded it. My this thing is kind of poor, my network, but I don't want to bank on that guy. Okay, when I downloaded this background, this is how this background came. It was rough like this. This is the way it came, right? And I downloaded it because the sample of work, which I will always recommend, that you need to always um, get a sample as a beginner, someone that is still trying to adapt or be stronger in design. I want to recommend that you should always get a sample of people's design and always design along. With time, you are going to master how to use colors. With time, you are going to master how to place your elements. A time will come when you now be designing from your head. That is where I am now. I can just design from my head as a result of my imagination. But for a start, this thing has worked for me over time among my students. I would recommend you always go to space like Pinterest or church flyers and then design along. Uh, okay, so what we'll do is that I'm going to delete all these things because I use them to explain the video I recorded. I've recorded the video, I promise you people, but I couldn't upload it for those that are just joining. But I'll upload it later. Network was terrible, but in the midnight here, I'm in Benue State, that is Makodi, Benue State. Our network has really been very terrible. In the midnight, I'm going to upload it. So we are going to use this as the background because I saw that I went on Pinterest. What I searched was um, red and orange background. That was what I searched, and I saw this image that is close to what I'm looking for. Then I downloaded it. So this is the image. Look at how rough it is. It's rough. Meanwhile, this one is what is smooth. So we are going to work this rough image and make it to be smooth. Um, but before we do that, when Mr. Timothy took his class on design principle, he talked about layout. And this layout is one of the things that separate you. Whenever I see people's work, I can predict they are still beginners or they are intermediate or they are pro because of the way they manage the workspace. You don't have to stretch all these things close to the edge of your design to show us that you are actually trying to drop things. You can see clearly that there is space here, there is space here, and there is space here, and there is space here. So how do we do that? In Photoshop, we use something like a grid. You can use a grid here too. You can turn on a grid. If I view here, look at grid. If I turn on grid, I can use grid. I can use this grid line to spot where I'm going to place my item, but I don't always use grid. I don't always use grid. If I view again, look at the grid. You can use baseline grid. There are different grid.
I'm not seeing the screen now.
Is it a general problem? Please always confirm on the comment section if other persons are seeing before you comment by opening your mic. You can ask them in the comment section. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Please log out and log in again if you can't see. Maybe it's your network, sorry. So some persons use grid line like this to set it up, but I want to do the manual way, the way me I use. Grid line work for some persons, but me I don't use grid line to design. Some persons can use it, but for me to for a safer approach, me I like using my own way to do it. And what is my own way? I can decide to create a box. I'm holding my control, and let me reduce the size of this box. Is there any size for the box? I'm just using my box the way I want it. Let me do 1:1. Let me see the size of 1:1. 1:1 is too big for me. Let me do 0.5 inches by 0.5 inches. Okay, this is perfect for me. And let me color it. I'm giving it a color red. I'm going to duplicate this thing into 4 places. Control D is to duplicate in CorelDRAW. Control D, you are duplicating an object when you select it. So this is first one, this is second one, this is the third one of the ones I have duplicated. So I'm going to select this. Yesterday, I think I taught you people, I mentioned that if you want to select multiple objects together in CorelDRAW, you hold your shift to select the second one. This is the first one. You hold shift, you select the second one. So when you can't see my screen.
No longer seeing it. It just went off. Just your eye, the eye in your name showing.
I can I can see
Tap
your
the eye,
screen.
tap
Maybe
it.
it could be your network, sir. But
Okay,
I can see it. If you cannot see it, that is your network, sir.
maybe it's your network. Please help me. Um, okay, you should be able to see my network and to see my screen because I'm sharing my screen and I know I'm sharing because the sharing icon is still here showing me that I'm sharing. So when you duplicate this thing into 4 places, this is what we are going to do. Hold your shift and select this our workspace. Then I want you to press L, just not Control L. When you select the two objects, the small box and the big workspace, you press L on your keyboard for Windows users. When you press L, it's going to, what you are telling this thing is that I want to move this small box and I'm making reference to the big box as my reference point. And that L means move this object. Let me go back. Move this object to the left hand side of this box. That is what it means. I'm selecting the small box and I want to move it along the big box. I hold shift and I select the second box and I press L. It's going to move it to the left hand side, to the extreme left hand side of the big box. And I will still press without clicking outside. The two of them, they are still selected. I've pressed L first, it has moved to the left. I'll press T and I'll move it to the top. I move L to the left. I press T also to the top. Then let me do this one. I'll still select the second box. Let me color it yellow. Or let me give it this green color. Or let me make it something darker. I'll select this one, shift, I'll hold shift, select the second one. Then I'll press on R, which is right. I want it to the right side and I'll take it to the T, which is top, right? Then let me do this other one too. I'll select this one. I'll change the color. I'll hold shift and select the big box. And then I'll press B. B is bottom. If you notice, the first one was T, which is top. B, I just press B. B is bottom, and then I want it to the left, so it will come to this edge. And I'll select this one. Look at this other one. I will hold shift and select the big object, and I'll press B, which is bottom, and I'll press R, which is what? Right. So I'm going to, if you see this space is housing our ruler. You can see there is ruler's icon or ruler shape. You can see this ruler is here on this place. If I zoom in, you can see the ruler. So I'm going to drag a ruler. I'm coming here. I'm going to drag this line from this ruler just by clicking. Just by clicking here, and I'll drag something out. Just by clicking here and I'll drag something out. And I'll also click here and I drag out this construction line. In technical drawing, those that did technical drawing, this is our what we call construction line. And for forest traders, those that know forest, this is like your trend line. You are trying to use it to determine something. So we are doing construction line. We want to place our lines to help us know where we are going to place our object. If you can see, I'm moving this one. Let me move this one now to this edge, and let me zoom in and move this one closely to this place. So let me move this one also to this place. Then this one is the one that is remaining. This one is here. Let me change the color of this thing too. ash. Let me change it to blue. Okay, let me change it to wine color. Or if I change it to white, you can see this. Let me just change it to this color so you can see this. So when we have this, sorry, let me plug my phone. There's no button, right? So when we have this, we this one is an extra. I told you when you keep an object, let me remove this. When there is an object outside, if you just press P to come to the center of the page. So this one, I want to know the center of this my work. I'll just select this one and press P to come to the center. And I'll pull out another one and I just press P to come to the center. So this is exactly what I'm going to be working with. This is my zoom. Let me select this workspace. So this is what I'm going to be working with. It means this is the space where my design elements are going to occupy. This space is where my design elements are going to occupy. You can see it. This is what the person that made this design tried to achieve. You can see all his line is just within a space. You can see all his work is just within a space. And if you look at other designs, you take notice of this thing. It's consistent with professional designs. Because why do we design like this? You are trying to give space around the work so that the work will look organized. That's the first thing. Then second thing, if this work is to be printed, I've witnessed a printing press scenario where somebody, after designing for a wedding event, booklet for wedding, and after struggling to design from morning and then printing, then by evening, it was late in the evening, I was there to cut my work in the place of a cutter. These people that use big machine to cut. Do you know that he didn't do this construction line thing? What happened was that the cutter set the cutting work with the front page, thinking that the guy has aligned all his subject within the space he was seeing. The cutter now went and put his cutting machine, his cutting blade here, and then cut, trying to trim the work. And when the guy opened, and you know how they load this thing, if you've seen that machine, they load the work and then cut all of them at once. When the guy opened the what do they call it, the inside of the work, he now saw that all the write-up he placed below that line, they were all trimmed off. And the wedding was like tomorrow. So as a professional designer, we try to follow this through to guide us in placing our elements so that your work will look neat. And if the work is going to be printed, they will not trim it off. If you've used Microsoft to type your letter or type a document, sometimes when you're trying to send it for printing, you see that your printer will mark area that is printable. This is the guideline, this is the layout. This is what you are trying to achieve. You are trying to create the guideline, the layout where you want your object, your image, your text, all these things you are going to bring into this design, where you want them to align. I believe we understand this part. Please, if you have a question, I want to get your response. But if you understand it, someone please open your mic and tell me that you understand. Declan,
Yeah, do I just coming, but I
Yeah, do
almost
I
feel
just
it.
remember I almost did it. Yes, sir.
it's okay.
Okay.
So let's go over. We are going to the next thing. You are welcome, Thomas.
Before you did.
Welcome. I believe you had a great day in service today. So I'm deleting all these boxes. Thomas, I will show you what we just did was to create a space like this where we are going to place all our objects so that we'll have a space around the work that we are designing. You can manually do this thing let me teach you another pattern. Let me just teach you for the sake of these other people. Another pattern I use, simple pattern I use, is that, Thomas, please pay close attention, is that after creating this workspace, I
Yeah.
will copy this thing and I will paste it, and I will change the color of this one here on top. Okay, there is one below, which is our main work. Let me copy and paste. Let me change the color of this one on top. Then you just hold your shift and reduce this thing. This one you are doing it manually with your eyes. You reduce this thing like this. When you reduce this thing, you can press P to ensure that it's centralized. Then you can come and use your ruler. Use your ruler. Use your ruler. Then use your ruler. Okay. This center. I've placed this one in the center. This one center. Then this other one come here. Let me zoom in and arrange this one very well. Then you can see this. So you can clearly see that this works for you also. This the fastest way me I create my own. This is the fastest way I create. So other different persons have the way they do it. So depending on how you want to do it, you can do your own. So you just delete this one. All we want is that when we are arranging our object, this is the space we want. And this is an image that we have downloaded from the internet, because this is a sample of what we want to design. And we go to the internet, Pinterest or Freepik and all that. You go there and then you type um red and orange background. You will see plenty of red and orange background. Just pick any one, download them and then bring it in. This has a rough surface. I will right click on this. I showed us this yesterday. You see power clip. What this power clip is pointing is showing you an arrow. Where do you want to send this object into? I want to send it into this box. You can see the object have entered the box. It's like this box is now pregnant, but the object is inside of it. When you double click this, you are going to see the baby inside the stomach. I believe it's clear enough. You can see this. So when you see this, this is rough, but we want a smooth surface. Then you go to the this place, effects. When you go to effects, you can see blur. Look at this blur. My favorite blur here is Gaussian blur. I also use motion blur, and I also use radial blur. Let's use radial blur and see how it will appear. Okay, so this logo is our sample logo. I told you this layout, what it's going to do for you is going to define everything you are going to be doing. Like this, where you place your logo in between these lines. This is where you place your logo. And most of these things, you are going to be using your eye as the imagination point to place whatever thing you want to place. So I've placed our logo. Then I wish I can see this other design. Let me just look for it once again. Uh, uh, I can't see that design. I can't see that design again. I'm not seeing it again. I can't see that design again. Let me drop this so This text, how to design this text, we are going to learn it too. All these shiny text, 3D text, we'll learn it also. It's obvious you are going to have a class in between this week to complete this CorelDRAW class. So let's just start. And let's just start. So I'm picking my text first. I'm picking a text. Let me type fire. Let me type fire. Then one of the things I taught in the tutorial I recorded for you people is how to download fonts. And I made recommendations on fonts for us. And how to download font is very simple. Very, very simple. You can go to 1001 fonts. This is a very popular website where you can download fonts. 1001 fonts. You can download fonts from it. And when you download your fonts, let me just check my download history. I think I downloaded some fonts. This is a font that I recommended. The name is Ataria. And if you download the font, your font will download like this. Then when you open it, I want to open this font. This is the font, it has opened. You can see this place, it has opened. This is the font, the one with .otf is the font. Then you can preview this thing, but this is the one we want. So when you double click it, it's going to install for you. You can see this install button. If you just click it, it will install, and you are going to see that font in CorelDRAW. So I made recommendation for about 4 fonts for you in that video, and one of it is Poppins. The first font, let me just type it. The first font is called Poppins, so you can take note of it if you don't have it. Poppins is a very popular font that designers use. This is how the font looks like. If you notice most design work, people use it. It's a very simple, classy font. You use it for body text mostly. Poppins. Then the second font I recommended for us is this Ataria. This is the name, Ataria. Because you need a bold font for your themes. When you are designing, you need a bold font for your theme. Then this is the name Ataria. Then the next font I recommended is Bebas. This is Bebas. Where is Bebas? It's under B. This is Bebas.
So, please all the phone names in the future. I'm begging.
You say?
You can please send all the phone names in the future after the class. The phone
Okay, I'll do that.
future,
Remind
all the
me.
phone
Remind
names.
me, Thomas. I'll do that. This is Bebas. I'm recommending Bebas for us. This is how Bebas looks like. Most designers use it also. And I also recommended Montserrat. There's a font called Montserrat. Let me just search it. You can come here and just search a font if you don't want to scroll. Montserrat. This is Montserrat. This is how Montserrat looks like. And there is something you need to take notice of. Some fonts, if you want to install font, I recommend that you search for the font. For instance, you want this Montserrat. Look at what we call font family. Anytime you hear font family, it's a font that has different weight of usage. You can see they have black, extra bold, medium, and others. So when you see all of them like this, they are called font family. So this is like Montserrat family. Then if you select this is how Montserrat looks like. Montserrat is close to Poppins, but they are different. They are most of them I use them as body text, right? So Bebas, Ataria, Poppins, Montserrat. Then for this work, let me just select that we are using Ataria for this, or let me change it back to Poppins. Then we are going for Poppins bold. Let's go for Poppins bold. Let's go for Poppins bold. Okay, that design I can't really recall, but sorry, let me screen grab that design from this video. Then we are going to use it to learn. Let's continue with that design, that particular design we were using. There are some things I explained here. There. See the class I promised you, I recorded it, but I could not upload it because of internet. The size is heavy. Um, this is the class, so I want us to redesign this work. I don't even know how I got that flyer in the first place. Okay, so okay, I'll screen grab this, then we use it to design. Print screen. So let's go back to CorelDRAW. So this design is too basic for me. I want to do something like this. So let me crop it. Okay. So we need an image of our pastor. We need an image of our pastor, and I'm going to bring two images. Is when we get to Photoshop that I'm going to teach you how to crop image. Crop image means you have a studio picture and you trim the image clean, that this image is like this. Some people, I don't know if you've seen a design, they trim the image and you can see that the image is very rough. I use Photoshop to trim image for it to be clean. So when we get to Photoshop, we're going to learn that. But for now, um, I'm going to pick up images to use for this design. I have some images here in my computer. Let me pick up Apostle and the sister's image and I'll use it to teach us today. Okay, this is the image of Apostle. So I'm reducing it. Let me warn you, please don't drag image like this. You scatter the image. It's not advisable. I'm doing Ctrl Z. So if you are going to drag your image, drag it from the edges. Drag it from the edges so that you maintain the ratio. The same thing. So don't go and drag image like this. You just spoil it and scatter the ratio of the image. So whenever you bring an image, first thing that should come to your mind, let me reduce the space. I'm using shape tool here. Let me select this tool. I'm reducing this space. Whenever you have a picture to make your design, there are two things I want you to take notice of as a professional designer. First thing is that your picture, by all means, try to walk around your picture so that the color tone of the two images will come closer. Sometimes you see that you are making a design and you have different ministers' picture. This person's face is coloring blue. This person's face is coloring pink. There is no common background for the two images to align. Those little things are the things that make your design look unprofessional. We are going to edit this image temporarily or just a small editing in CorelDRAW. So the sister's picture is a bit darker. So I'm going to tune this picture to come closer to Apostle's picture so that we can have something very clean to design with. So I'm selecting Apostle's picture. I'm going to adjust under effect. I'm going to adjust here. Then I'll go to image adjustment lab. Look at image adjustment lab. When I select it, this is going to open for me to edit. Yes, this thing is assuming the last setup I used. When I edited Theophilos' picture for that design, this is the color I used for him. So I'm going to reset it to get this original color. Then I will adjust it to what I want. So I'm going to just touch the brightness more. I'm touching the brightness more. I'm touching the contrast a bit small. I'm not pulling it, it's just small small. You can see this one is 9, this is 9, this is 4. I'm just adjusting it a bit. This 5, this 6. Then shadow, I'm dropping shadow to go to black 1, 2, so that his hair will be darker. That's why I'm adjusting this shadow. 4, 5. This is what I have. This is looking better for me compared to the original. Then let me do same for the sister's picture. The sister's zone is that I'm going to tune the color to come close to Apostle's color, so it won't look too different. Even if they are dark ministers or your pastor is very dark, the wife is fair, at least just tune it in such a way. Look at this picture as I assume the last setting I did. Let me move this thing over here so I can see Apostle's picture. So I'm going to add more brightness to her own, right? And then I will also add more contrast to her own. Then I'm not adding shadow, more contrast. Let me reduce the contrast a bit. Then this place, this saturation, if I put this saturation here, I'm going to turn this image to black and white. This saturation means I'm removing the color. For those that attended photo editing class, you know this. Then I want to pull, because I want to add more red to her face, I'm going to put the saturation more closer. Then I'm going to add small of this temperature, warm temperature to her face. So when I do this, this is what when I do this, I'll say, okay, this is what I'm having. At least it's closer to the time it was very dark. You can see the two faces are a bit closer to each other. I did not do much, just this simple thing is a bit closer. So from the studio, Apostle's face is very rough. You can see the sharpness is there. Then likewise this. Before I will apply the effect I want on this picture, I'm going to convert his effect to bitmap. Let me convert it to bitmap. I'm going to convert this picture. I selected Apostle's picture and I go to bitmaps and see convert to bitmaps. Then from 300, I'm going to drop it to 250 and I will convert. Look at, the picture is a bit blurry. It's not as sharp as before because there is an effect I want to apply. If I apply it, it's not going to give me what I want. Then let me do same for the sister zone. Let me also convert her own to 250. It's also a bit blur. Then this is the effect I want to add. I'll go to effect and I'll go to sharpen. You can see sharpen. See on sharp mask is what I want. On sharp mask. Then I'll go to this on sharp mask. This is what I want, the effect I want. I'm going to reduce this on the percentage and I will also reduce the radius. Sometimes you see some churches, the image of the pastor is very brutal or looking rough like this. And you that is designing, your own is rough. You are asking, how did they even achieve this thing? This is how to achieve it. This is one of the ways to achieve it. So if I say, okay, now, this is what I'm having. This is what I'm having. It's looking cleaner for me. Let me also apply the same for the sister zone. Sharpen or sharpen mask. This is the sister zone. You can see it clearly. You can see how it's looking. So I've applied this effect. Maybe her own, let me reduce the effect on her own. Let me apply it again and reduce it. Sharpen or sharpen mask. Hope we are together. Somebody, I need a feedback. Are we together?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, excuse me, sir.
thank you. So I've added this. Then I'm going to drop these two images. I'm selecting with shift, two of them. I want to drop two of them here. Don't forget, our boundary of for our object will be within here. So I'm reducing this, the two of them. Then Let me assume the sister's picture is up, but I want Apostle's picture to be up. When you select this Apostle zone, you right click, you go to order. I want to give this thing an instruction, order, the order of their ranking. I want this Apostle's picture to come in front of what? This one. This one will automatically go behind. Control Z. Let me go from this side. I right click on this, the sister's picture, and I want it to come behind this one. It will come behind it. Let me go back. The shortcut for this one to come on top, the shortcut is shift and page up for window users. Shift and page up. But the manual way is to right click and go to order. Then you select either in front of or behind. Then you achieve that. So another thing I want to do, if you look at the design we are doing, they faded this picture into the background. And another thing is that our background is not complete. You can see that this part is this color is kind of us blood color, but our own is just reddish. So one of the things I want to do, I want to select this rectangular tool, and from this place I will draw a rectangle. Then I'm going to select this color from this work. I told you about this tool yesterday, color eyedropper. This one is to select and keep, while this one is to select and apply. Let me select this. So let me select this horse blood, then I'll apply it to this work. You can see I've applied this. So there is a tool I need, then I'm going to power clip it inside. Let me power clip it inside. It's inside the work now. The tool I need, there is a tool I need. Let me adjust this horse blood. I want to have the perfect horse blood for this down. There is perfect horse blood I'm looking for. This is the horse blood I'm looking for. So there is a very important tool that you must not miss as a designer using CorelDRAW, is this transparent tool. This transparent tool, I'm going to use it now, so pay close attention. I'm selecting it. I can use this transparent tool to reduce this transparency of this thing like this. This is uniform transparency. I'm reducing the transparency, but this is not what I want. The transparency I need is that I'm going to click here and hold it and fade to this point. I'm not going to take it outside. It will be inside. I'm trying to say this box, I want to mix you with the background that I already have, and I want your this thing to be smooth, the point of meeting to be smooth. You can see this. See the horse blood. Before, this is what we have. If I pull this thing outside, this, I now added this horse blood into the work. You can see what I have. How I achieved this thing is because I selected this and I used transparency to pull it inside a bit to clear that this edge that was rough should be taken out. That is transparency too. We are going to use that for Apostle's picture. And to use that, we are going to convert this picture again to bitmap. First thing is that I'm going to transparent this angle, and I will convert to bitmap, and I will transparent this angle. So let me hold transparency. I'll click here and come to this point. This is what I want. I don't want that sharp edges on the picture. I want to take it out, those sharp edges on the picture. You can see this. I don't want those sharp edges, and I will end my command. If I want to transparent his hand, this part also, but if I select transparency to show me that this one is still active. Meanwhile, I need it this side. If I click this side now, the other one will go out. So Ctrl Z. So what will I do? How do I solve this? I will convert this picture to a block image, which is bitmap. I'll convert it to bitmap. But I'll return it back to 300, which is standard. I'll convert it to bitmap. Then I'll select transparency to it. So assume that that first transparency you have done has been converted to this image as a block image. So I will apply it again to this side. So let me shift the sister's picture. This is what we have. That picture that had a rough surface is now smooth. We have it smooth and it's flowing into the background very well. So let me reduce this. Then let me also do that for the sister. Then I will add two of them together. This is sister zone. I just want to go straight. So you can see this. I'm not converting her on because I'm just doing it once. She's here. Then I will now place the image. When we talk about hierarchy from your class with Mr. Tim, you can create hierarchy among images depending if you're having your bishop in the flyer and you have junior pastors, you can reduce the picture of the junior pastors in your design. So this is what we have so far, but we are going to centralize these two images. Shift, select the second one. Then Control G is to group the two objects. So that each time I select it, two of them will move together. Control G. Control U is to ungroup. When you select a grouped object, you can just ungroup it here. But Control G, select this, hold Shift, select the second one. Control G is to group two of them. Then if I press P, they will come to the center of the work. Then I can hold Control and pull it above so that it will go straight. This is what I want to drop. This is how I want it to appear for me. Any questions so far? Are we together? Should I continue?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Continue.
Thank you. So we are going to
Thank you.
add.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, hello, sir.
Okay. So the next thing I want to add the names. And to add a text in design in CorelDRAW, there are two ways. You know newspaper text, how it's looking like. You have newspaper. Let me just randomly go to the internet and copy this text. I'm copying this text. I need a long text, plenty text. Or let me go. Okay. I need plenty text. Let me just go here. I was studying something earlier. Let me copy this text. It's a long text. In newspaper, when you see newspaper column, how do they arrange the text in such a way that the text is perfect? It's because when you come here to this your text to this A, when you select it, when you click once, let me zoom in. You can type Apostle Edu Odechukwu. You can just type single like this. And I told you there is a tool in our last class, this shape tool. If you select shape tool, you can either open this text up more or close them up, or you can use this one and reduce the space in between the words, right? So that is one. That is for single, just click and start typing. Then there's another form of text, this second one, that when you select it, you click and select. You don't just click and leave, you click and select. Then you paste that text that you copied. The plenty text will come inside here now. It's loading. This thing don't shut down my CorelDRAW again now. If it shut down, are we going to start all over? Because we've not saved this work. Okay, it has come. Now that this have happened, let's just save the work. This is where you save your work. See this save icon, or you go to file and just save. So let's save it as class 1. So I've saved it as class 1. So this is your text. You can change the color. And basic rule of color, like we have always been sounding from first class, is that you put light color on top of a dark background, and you put dark background on top of a light color. Two basic rules for color management. Then you can use here, because you've selected text, just like in your Microsoft, you look at this is like Microsoft now. You can come here and reduce the font size. Let me select 7 for instance. You can reduce it. You can reduce it. If you put this thing up, if you put this thing this way, then you can select your justification you want to use. You can select that. Then, as it's marking red, let me show you something. As this thing is marking red, you can see the text border is marking red. It's an indication that there are some text that are still inside that are not visible. Let me open this thing up. There are some text that are still inside that are not visible. That is what this red box is telling you. If I open it more, it's still showing me there are some text that are still inside. Let me just copy some and delete so we can have. Okay, now it's showing me black. Black means all the text are on the surface, but once I go in, it's showing me red, showing me that some text are below. Then you open it more and then you can see all the text that you have selected. Then let's say we have 6. So this is how you create your column in your newspaper or your printing magazine, or you are designing a work that require you to arrange your text this way. So this is how you create the text. But if you are going to create text, there is another way that you are working on this page. Let's say you are doing a magazine design. You are working on this page and you're also working on another page. And then you want to move the text over in such a way as you're adjusting this text, it should also be adjusting in the other pages. That is when you come to this page. You can see this space. Look at this icon here. You come to this icon and you click on it. Okay, sorry. Is it this icon? There's an icon I'm looking. There's an icon I'm looking for. Okay, this is the icon I'm looking for. When you double click on this icon 2 times, it will show you, okay, where do you want to drop the next thing. Automatically, the thing is creating a second box for you. Let me copy. I'm cutting this box and I'm creating a new page and I'm dropping it here. Let me double click so that we'll have a dark background. So okay, this is what I did. This thing are here, so I double clicked on this 1, 2, and it's showing me this. So this is like a continuation of that work. Then you can move this one to another page. This is a continuation. It's showing you that this page is linked to this page. So if you close this page up a bit, instead of the text to flow and mark red and show you that there is no some text are hidden, it's going to be flowing into the second box. So you can carry this second box and put in a different page, so that you're adjusting your page 1, everything is also adjusting in the other pages. You can see the link between the 2 texts. While I'm adjusting this first one, instead of me having some text, this is how they arrange newspapers. They will drop all the text they want in one box and now duplicate it in different places. If I also come and double click on this, I can create a new box. Look at it, this is a third box. This is a third box. So if I reduce this one now, some text will still flow into this one. You can see as I'm reducing this, yes, I'm creating a column. As I'm reducing this, text is flowing from here to here to here. So this is how you can arrange your work neatly and you will not lose any text. Instead of copying, you copy smaller and arrange page 1, copy smaller and arrange page 2. You can arrange all these things and say I want all these things to be arranged like this. You arrange all your columns, and then while you are arranging the text, maybe you applied this header. Let's say you apply this header on this first one. Some of the tests, they are still going to adjust. When you apply this, for instance, you see some tests have adjusted, and then it will flow to these other ones as reservoir. So just take notes of this test arrangement, and then back to what we are designing. We are on the name now. We are trying to arrange the name. And one thing you need to pay close attention to, any arrangement test um test adjustment pattern you are using. If you are adjusting to the left, be consistent across the work and use left justification. If you are adjusting using center, maintain center all through. If you are adjusting using right, maintain right all through in your work. So this is one of the ways to spot if you're a beginner designer. Some people, they will adjust left here and adjust right this side, and just be adjusting and be floating. So I'm going to use left for this work, and I'm going to change the font. Let me say I'm using Bebas. Let me say I'm using Bebas, for instance. Then I will now endeavor to always assign numbers to your text. That will help you. There is a rule called rule of there is a rule. It's one of these mathematical rules. It's one of the mathematical rules. If you are going to add a text, let me see if there is a number. Let me say I'm going to add a text. For instance, I'm going to bring this text here, and I'm going to reduce the weight, and I want to say that Apostle is now the convener of this meeting. Let me say he's the convener. Let me say he's the convener. Let me try to do mistake. I want to show something. There is a mistake here. So CorelDRAW can give you the access to do what? To correct yourself. It says the convener of this meeting. So you can reduce this. We are using 10 here. And that rule is I'm trying to remember the name. I screen grabbed something on that. That rule is I'll get the name, but the rule is one of these mathematical rules. The rule states that you divide every font you are going to put below the next one. In your work, you are going to have your main theme, which is the highest one, to show your hierarchy in your text arrangement. Then this name now is going to come like under the second one, but this third one, we are going to divide this 10 by 1 point. This is the number. We are going to divide it by 1.618. So we are going to divide 10 by 1.618. Somebody is asking, is there mathematics in this thing? I'm trying to tell you the secret of big designers. These some of the things that when clients see that your work is rightly adjusted, rightly aligned, they will do this thing. They will always patronize you. So if I divide, this is the number you use. So now that we are using 10 for the name, it means we are going to multiply 10 by this number to get our main theme. That is the theme of the program, the highest, or the text that is the biggest in this our design. So this is the number. I'll get the name and then I'll drop it on the group. I can't really remember. It's not Fibonacci, it's one of these mathematical names. I will remember and share it with us. So this one, if I divide this 10 I use here by 1.618, I'm going to get 6.1. 6.18 is what I'm going to get for this one. Then if I apply it, this is what I'm going to have. Graphically, for this thing to be graphically correct, then I'll select the small one and make reference to this. I hold shift and select this one. I'll press L so that they will be left aligned. The two of them will align very well along the left hand side. So let me assume this is what I have, for instance. Or if it's too much, I can drop this to, let's say 9. If I'm dropping this to 9, it means I'm going to do what? I'm going to divide the 9 by that number. And this one is going to give me 5.5. 5.56. And this is what I have for this. So I'll just Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I selected the two. Then I'm holding Ctrl so that it's pulling along I'm holding Ctrl to pull it along the same length, along the same height, except I decide to place it like this, that I want the names to be by their shoulder. So I'll now say, okay, this one be here and all that. So Pastor Odinaka Odechukwu. So let me give her guest minister. So this is what we have so far. I select this. I'll come to this percentage and say to selected. So this is what we have so far. Are we together? But this name for me is too big. The name for me is too big. I can decide to select all of them, reduce them like this, and then drop it and select this and drop it. So are we together? Can you still hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes, sir. I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Hope we are picking something
Clearly.
fast, right?
Hope to you are recording because it's much. So,
I'm recording.
uh,
Okay. So we are going to achieve this theme. What I want to teach you is this. You can see it's as if they cut through the test, right? They cut through this test. It's as if they cut through this test. Sorry, this is not the original picture. I screen grab this. So I'm going to name the theme of this our program Manifest. Manifest. Then I'll give it this color. I taught you something. When you see something like this, use this your color picker. Pick the first color is this. The second color is the one below. It's darker. They are not the same. You can see they are two different colors. Then use the first one. Use the first one as white. Then when you use the first one as white, go to this place. You can see here your color filler. Double click on it. Then go to your fountain fill, which is your gradient, because they use gradient. Then first one is this. Then pick second color. Come here and then you see another color picker. Pick it. Oh, this thing is blocking me. Click here. Use this color picker and select this second color. or you can pick it here directly if you want. If you don't want to select it that way, then you say okay. You can adjust this. I want to adjust it that the darker one should be below. I'll say okay. So this is what I have. I have something close to what they are having here. Darker below, lighter one up. So what is the next thing to do? We are going to change the font of this manifest. Then you can now choose the font of your choice. You now choose the font of your choice. Most time when you see fonts like this sample we are looking at, you don't know the name of the font. Nobody knows the name of every font. I don't know the name of fonts easily. But you can just decide. This is one of my favorite fonts that I use for design. The name is VoltiDemo. VoltiDemo. So if I've selected this text, I'll hold shift and select my box, my design space. Then I'll select C. C is to centralize it. So it's now centralized. Space between this and this, they are equal. Let's say this is what I want. Do I want this? Okay, let's say this is what I want. I can decide to say, okay, let me reduce it a bit. I'll hold shift and I'm reducing it small. Then I want to create these cuts around this text. I want to create these cuts around it. So I'm going to select my circle, which is my ellipse tool, and I'm going to create an ellipse. I'm just going to create a random ellipse. Most times, one of the things that you as a designer you have is that you have powerful sight to detect things. Let me just color this like this, or let me give it a yellow color. Then, or let me just color the border and remove the entire color. Then when you hold this yellow circle or ellipse, you hold your shift and select this text and click C, which is centralized. So I've centralized this thing to see where I'm going to cut across. Then you select this. I'm removing the border. So when I cut this thing, this is how it's going to appear. Will it be fine for me? Let me come down a little bit. Do I like it this way? Will it work for me? Let me hold shift and press it inside more. Will this thing work for me very well? Will my text still be visible if I cut it this way? Okay, let me manage this. Let me centralize this and then manage it. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to select this one. I've selected this. I'll hold shift and select the second one. These icons will appear. They were not there originally. Let me click out. Those icons are not there, but once I select two objects or three, they will appear. So I've selected this text. Now they are appearing. The one I need here is trim. You have weld, like a welder is trying to weld two irons together. You can weld. Then the one I need for this purpose is trim. So I'll just click on trim. This thing is that I'm using this object to cut out this thing from here. I'm using this to cut. That is what they use to cut across this. So I'm using this to cut. I'm using it to cut through. This is not perfect, but for learning sake, let's just keep it simple like this. So I'm using this to cut through this, right? I'm using this to cut through this. Then, since we still have this, we still need it because you can see the object they use in cutting, they still used it to form this line. So how do we use this object to form this line? Let's still leave it here. Then just by selecting this ellipse, you are going to see this shape come up. You see this shape. So let me select this one, arc. I want to create an arc. I'll select an arc. Then nothing is showing, nothing is visible. I'm selecting an arc. I'll right click on this color. I just right click on this color. I just right click on this color to give a border to that my arc. I told you when you right click on color, you are giving color to the border or the outline. When you left click on color, you are coloring the full shape. So I'm going to pick my shape to balance this thing. Then I'll come and pick here. Then I'll come and pick here. I don't want to see this thing show. I want to just go out to this thing is formed. I just want a single line like this. Then you can adjust it to what you want. You can manually adjust this. You can manually adjust this small. Look at this. This is what we've done. This is what we've done. You can see this. You can manually adjust it, shift it more. This is what we've done. Anytime I'm shifting uniformly, I'm holding my shift. So when I click here, the both ends are moving. Then this. If you notice, there is a circle that they use in cutting across. They cut this line. They cut this line and then they reduce the circle to draw this 24. So this is what they did. We create a perfect circle. To create a perfect circle in CorelDRAW, you hold your control while you are drawing. So this is a perfect circle. If you don't hold control, I'm not holding control, the circle will not be perfect, it will just be rotating. But if I hold control, it's going to give me a perfect circle. Then let me select this. Then what do I want? Okay, let me bring this a bit down. Then I'll hold this and I will select this and I'll select two of them and press C. C is to centralize, then E is to put it in the middle. Two of them are centralized in the middle and center.
Skills that we're missing. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you. What is the challenge? Can you see my screen? Anyone, can you see my screen, please? What is the challenge?
From everybody.
You say what?
It keeps going on and off, on and off. You just get your voice at times, and then details of the expression, like how you cut the circle, how you got the arc that was under the manifest. I think we didn't get that one too.
This is, let me just do Control Z. So I'm doing Control Z back to that point. So, okay. So this is our arc where I drew this arc. Then I'm trying to get a point that will work for me. Let me reduce this more. Then I'm placing it here, for instance. Then I'll select this one with holding shift. I'll press C. C is to centralize. Then I'll select this one. Then I'll hold shift and select this one. These icons will appear. They were not here originally. But when I select this, hold shift and select this icon will appear. What I need here is trim. I'll click on trim. When I click on trim, I'm trying to trim the up, what I have up using this shape. So this is what I've achieved. I've done that. Then I still need this thing to create an arc, because from the design, you can see there is an arc, and you have to be very observant. You know that this same arc is what they use in cutting this shape. Then I'm going to use this arc. Once I select this arc, once I select this ellipse, I'm going to see arc here on top here. If I click out, I'm not seeing anything on top. But if I select this, I'll see that I can convert this to an arc. So I will click on the arc, and then I'm going to right click on this to be able to. Please pardon me. Let me bring my boy in. He's knocking. I'm still in class, please. Stay. What something. Don't make noise. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. This boy has been knocking on my door. I locked it early. So please let him be learning too. My guy. So this arc now, we need it to just come from here to this point. Don't talk. Yeah. So I need this shape to, I'll use this shape to arrange it. Then I'm going to come here. You can do it manually. Let me say if I have this. If I have this, you can just create another box like this. This one way. You can create a box like this. Or there is a tool you can use. Let me even see. If I create this box, Sam, please. If you select this arc, then you click on trim again. You click on trim, you have created hole here, right? Then just
That's your
yes. If you
email.
if you
Then
select
now.
this, you select this other one, you've created trim, you've created another hole. You can just say, okay, this may be complex. Let me just
We can't see your
somebody's mic is open. Let's go back to the former way I wanted to do it. I think it will be simpler that way. Sam, please. So let me just hold shape 2. Then I'm coming to this point. I'll drop the shape 2 here. Then I'll come this way and I'll drop this one way. Okay, this is what I have. I think this will work for me. I prefer this. So you just reduce it, baby, bring it downwards, hold your control. Then I told you, looking at this thing, they also created a hole around it using circle. And this is creating a perfect circle now. Creating a perfect circle is that you will hold your control. If you are drawing circle just like this randomly without holding control, it won't give you perfect circle. But when you hold your control, you get a perfect circle. Then when you have a perfect circle, you color it, remove the outline by right clicking on the outline, no color outline. Then let me reduce this shape. Let me reduce the size. Let me say, okay, this is what I want. I'll select these two, click on circle and click on E to centralize it. So let me click on this and arrange it very well. Centralize it. Then I will hold the second one by holding my shift, click the second one. Then I will also trim it out. After trimming, okay, this circle is supposed to be bigger. So let me do this. Let me hold this, click on the second one. I will trim again. Then if I reduce this, I've trimmed it off. You can see clearly that I've trimmed something off. The circle is perfect around it. I can now select these two and group two of them together. This is like what we have here. This is like what we have here. This is like how they achieve this. There is a circle that they cut around it, and then the circle they used, they reduced the size and is in the middle. So you can just use that, maybe draw write what you want to write. 25. Samuel, I'm dropping this 25 here. I'm reducing it holding my shift. Then let me change the font. That means I'm changing it to Poppins. You can adjust it to what you want. So this is what we have so far. Are we together?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This
Yeah,
one.
we're together.
Okay, thank you. I still want to write this manifest. Let me just show us something because this is a very short time we have together. When you have this, let me say this is this thing. You want another pattern. You want a different pattern. You don't want to use this manual way of cutting. Just by selecting this, you've selected this text. You go inside this not object now. Window. Where is window? See window. You go here into two. Okay, not two. You go into this Docker. If you go into this Docker, you will see effect. If you come to this effect, you go to envelope. When you go to envelope, I'm going to share a there is this group on they have videos on YouTube and Facebook. It's like one of the places I've found they teach CorelDRAW. Like they teach CorelDRAW very effectively. You can, if you select this, look at this icon. If you select this and then you select this, you are if you select this, if you select this and select this, why is this thing not showing me apply? Coming. Okay, I added new. Sorry, I didn't select that. When you add new, then you select this. You can choose the shape you want. You can see this thing has changed shape somehow. You can adjust. Sorry. If you select this, these are different ways you can modify your text. These are different ways depending on what you're trying to create. These are different ways, but this is the automatic one. I'm going to teach you the manual way of doing it. You can see a text like this appearing, and then you decide to do it this way. This is one way of doing this because I wanted to show you. I went to the window, I went to Docker, and I went to effects. I came to envelope. That is where I'm here. Then I selected add new. Then these are different shapes that they are giving me that you can use to add your text. This is one way. This is one way. Let me close this. This is one way. This is one way. If I don't want it, I'll just click here and then I'll clear envelope. I don't want it. Let me teach you another way that you can make this thing yourself. Let me select this two. I draw this two, then I color it for instance, and I centralize it with this. And let's say this is what I have. Let me not even color it. Let me just do this. Let me just do this. I said, okay, I want the bottom part of this my text to pass through this, just like what we achieved above here. But there's another way I want to achieve it. Just by selecting this and I drop this is where I want to cut through, for instance. Then I select this. I will come down to this place, see shadow, see contour, see blend, see distort, see envelope. What I need is envelope. I'll select envelope. Then when I select envelope, I can come here and pull this one to this place. I can adjust this one. I'm adjusting this text along this line. I want to adjust this thing along this line, but this time around, I'm not cutting it out. I'm not cutting it out. This is what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not cutting it out. I'm only trying to build around. Let me say I reduce this for instance, or let me work around this. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Let me select this and I still select this. I say, okay, this is what I want to achieve. I want to achieve this thing. Then I'll put this one up. Then I'll reduce this one to come to the line. This line is only serving me to adjust this thing to what I want. Then I reduce this one, everything should come. This is one way. Maybe you want to achieve something like this. This is one way to do it. Then if I also drop this thing above like this, I said I want this thing to actually come. I want these things to come to this top. All these tests, I want them to come. And still selecting this, I can adjust this top to this place. I don't know if you've seen this type of things before. You see them in your biscuits, you see them in your beef
Yeah.
roll. Yeah, so this is how to achieve it. Just by using this tool, envelope. But you must put a shape that you are guiding it along. Let me say this is not yet um I still need to. This is the text I want. It's not yet perfect for me. I want it here. Then I want to adjust this one to this end. Then this one I select this edge. I will adjust this one to this end. I want it to fit perfectly well. And this one should be here. And I will adjust this one to this end. Then let me work on this one. I bring this one to this place, but I will adjust the end to suit very well. Right? So let me adjust this one here. This one is scattering my work. So, but you understand the concept, right? Let me even say we want to adjust this to this bottom. Let me reduce this thing. I say I want to adjust it to this bottom, for instance. If I select it and select this, I can adjust it to this bottom. This is what I want. I can adjust it to this bottom. You've seen this thing in different designs, but this is how they achieve it. This is how they achieve it. So depending on what you want to achieve, there are a whole lot of things you can do. You just delete this. We don't need it. We are finished building what we want to build. So when you are trying to create pattern or style for the theme of your program, these are some of the things you do. Choose a very simple fine font and imagine the shape you want to use, you want to achieve, and then adjust this thing to what you want to achieve, right? Another thing you can apply, like this thing now. Let me select another object. Come under this object. You see something we call perspective. Look at this perspective. For those that know what perspective is in fine art, it's as if when you are on a train line, on a rail line, for instance, you are at an end, you are looking at, or you are at the end of a road. There is a very straight road. By the time you are looking, it's as if the road is forming a triangle in front, right? That is perspective. It's starting from a point, then it's building up. It's just like this perspective. I select this point and I pull it up like this, and I pull up this one. Sometimes when you see that a text on your design is like on the floor, you see them create a text on the floor. It's looking as if this text is lying down on the floor. Look at it. It's as if the person just designed that this step should lie down on the floor. This is how what you are doing. You use perspective to achieve that. It's you that will adjust it and know that you've gotten what you are looking for till the end. So, like we always preach here, keep it simple. You mustn't use all these things in one design. You must not use all in one design. I don't use all in one design. But we are just showing you this thing so that when you are designing, you have multiple options of presenting your uh this thing, what do they call it now? Your tests or presenting your object in your design. Sometimes they would write, they will, let's say the date of this program, let me give it a date for instance, is 24th, let me use capital letters, 24th December 2025 for instance. And you come and see, I'll go to object and select perspective. Place perspective, I'll select perspective. Sometimes you see they will do something like this. Hope this thing is relatable. It's something we've been seeing, Abby.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe you are seeing something like this. And you are imagining, how did they create this thing like this? It's as if the thing is, you are trying to add, it's not perfect, but you can create what you want using this. This perspective, this is one of the things you can create using perspective. So I've given you some tips on designing the theme of your program. You can design it with this style. There are many other styles you can use to design them. And um, let me create another one. For instance, first thing, I have this, I create this, give it this color, this, there is 3D. You can see extrude, look at extrude. When you click on extrude, you just select um this one. Look at the extrusion. You can see precepts, see extrusion, different precepts. These ones, they are old model. People don't use some of these things again. People don't use most of these things. If I'm going to create 3D, I create my 3D um, from Photoshop and I'll bring it to CorelDRAW. So, okay, let me just select this and let me reduce this to 50 for instance. Let me drop this to 2. People don't really use some of these things again in design. So this, just play along with these things. You see some of these things. People use them for their work. People use them for their work. So it's left for you. Me, I don't use all of them. You can see this. You can pan it to give you what you want. I don't use, not everything I use. Let me just clear this. But that is just it. So just know that all these things exist over here. So back to what we are doing. The work is almost done. If you want a shape like this, look at this shape. You come to this circle. When you open this, okay, you come to this polygon. When you open this polygon, you are going to see common shapes. It's not every shape that you see along this your toolbar. When you open this, you see common shapes. Look at common shape. When you open common shape, you are going to see different shapes. This is the last one I use. When you open this place, you are going to see many more shapes. Look at many more shapes. You can select different shapes that you want to use. And for instance, this is what we want to use. This. So I'll select this. I'll draw this like this. And I'll end the command and color it. So you can change, flip it. You can flip it like this. Like this, how it's appearing here. You can flip it. Then when you hold your shape tool, you can use your shape tool to adjust it to what you want. This is your shape tool. To adjust it, you can remove the border color. Yeah, adjust it to what you want. And then you can place it, color it to what you want to color it. And once you are done, this one, let me create a box for instance. Say, okay, this is the box we want to use for our, I'm copying the box into two places. Say you want to use this box, one for. So how do we do? You just use your color to pick the color you want. No, I'm coloring the wrong thing. Color the box. No, I'm coloring this box. Then pick this. I prefer this. This one, most time when I use it, I color a different thing. I prefer picking this, drop it first, then I'll select what I want and color it. That's the way I use it. Then you can remove the outline of this one. Then adjust it to what you want. Before applying, select this tool, you can reduce it. Then before you apply your write-up on it. So basically, all this, your design is done. You just drop everything you want, your design is done. So is there any question? I want us to end here, and then I want us to pick a date between between Tuesday and Thursday. I want you to pick okay, Thursday I will be traveling. Tuesday will work. On Monday I have a class by 8 to 9. I have a class. On Wednesday I have a class that I'm attending. I'm not teaching, I'm attending those ones. Then Tuesday I'm free to teach. If Tuesday will work, we can take the next class on for Premier CorelDRAW. When we are done with that, I think next week. We're already in a new week. This new weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we are having Photoshop, and we're also having Photoshop upper week. We have 2 weeks for Photoshop. I will explain to you why we fix Photoshop for 2 weeks by the end of your class. I want you to pay close attention to Photoshop. And all these ones, if you are going to add all these details, they are just basic things that you can just click a text and add. Maybe change the text color, like you want to add names of ministers. One of the things I will be teaching you on Tuesday is how to bring in icons into your design. For instance, you have an icon here, this fire icon. That is one of the things I'll be teaching you. Then I'll take you to this from Photoshop, from CorelDRAW to Photoshop, how to create this text. Then I will also teach you how to create this text pattern. We've done this text pattern now. It's one of the things that we've done. We've done this one today, how to form this shape of text. Then I will also teach you how to combine different backgrounds and add images into your background, and also add this flare light. You can see this light. You can see light on their faces, the face of the ministers. So those are the things we are going to be learning. Thomas, please take notice of what I've said so that you just drop it on the comment section in our next class. So I will pick each of these things singly, and then we'll learn. Is there any question, please?
Which one? You made a lecture for today?
No, next class, Tuesday. We are going to learn.
Yeah, I thought you said that.
Tuesday we'll
Okay.
have a class. I'm proposing a Tuesday because either Wednesday or Thursday I'll be traveling for a conference, so I won't be active. And Saturday and Sunday, the lead designer of Revival Hub is the one that is going to be teaching us. Creative Priest. Creative Priest is the person that is going to be teaching us in our next class. Where is his picture? Creative Priest is going to be taking the very next class. He's the lead designer of Revival Hub. Like he's the number one designer in Revival Hub. And he's my very good friend and brother. So this is the guy. He's the one that is going to be teaching us in our next class. Then this is my partner in my company. He's going to be taking the last week. So this guy will teach us Saturday, Sunday. This one will pick up the upper weekend. But in between the week, we may still hold class. But I'm proposing a Tuesday because things I'm supposed to teach you in CorelDRAW, I've not finished it. I need to teach you adding light to your design, like this lightning you're seeing. I need to teach you how to create this type of text effect, this shiny 3D text effect, and then um, how to add icons. I will also take you how to create logo. Please remind me. I want you to take notice of this thing. If you want to create logo, I will teach you some secrets how to create a logo, and then all these icons you see in designs, how to add them and where to download them from. So I'm going to be showing you that all these type of icons and how to change their colors in a design. So those are some of the things I'm going to be teaching you in our next class on Tuesday. I want you to be available. Tell others that are not here to be available also. How was the class? Has it been impactful so far?
Very, very impactful, sir.
Yes.
God bless you so much.
The
Thank
class
you,
was
sir.
so impactful.
Thank God. So
Very
please,
impactful.
I'm begging you people,
Very
please
impactful.
let's
God bless.
come together on Tuesday. I want to teach you these next things. Let's learn on Tuesday. I'm not rushing this class. Depending on our progress this month, if we don't make serious progress, we can carry this graphic class over to next week or next month. But I'm not promising that. I want us to finish graphics this month. So that next month, I want us to teach everything about social media management. That is what I want us to learn. How to draw social media calendar, the safest time to make your post, and all those things you need to know, how the algorithm works. I'm going to bring in experts to teach with me also. um but I want us to finish design this month, and then you continue practicing. So on Tuesday, let's have the second class. I'll teach these other things that I've mentioned. I think that is clear enough.
So,
Yeah, so
what time are we
you can also
going
drop the photo. You can also drop the photo. So I think someone can practice from the one you taught us for today. So
Okay.
just drop the photo, the two photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
I
we
don't know
can
if
practice.
someone noticed, it seems our Telegram channel is down. I tried logging into the
What?
Telegram, the class Telegram channel. Thomas, I used to confirm if you are
Uh-huh.
still on the Telegram channel. It's not active again.
Right. I
I
come in.
notice
Let me
I
confirm it
noticed
for you.
that it's not active.
Wonderful.
I come in. Let me confirm it.
Okay, please confirm that. I tried um dropping the material for your assignment. So I'm going to drop the assignment now. Let me explain the assignment to us. So I tried dropping the assignment. I noticed that the Telegram has been down. So this is what I want you to design. I want you to design this thing. I want you to redesign this work. And I want to see it by Tuesday. Submit it by Tuesday. Submit it on the Telegram channel. It's open channel. I want you to submit it there. When you are done, drop it over there. If you have, we'll review the design before we start the next class. But let me just give us a tip. How do we draw this shape? There's a tool here called pay close attention please. There's a tool called pen tool. Thomas, have you confirmed?
Yeah.
Is it active?
I'm not seeing it. I try to check for it. I'm not seeing it,
It's
so
down. I'll
I'll
share
still
the
check.
link. I've created a new one. I'll share the link on the group so we can rejoin. I've created a new
Okay,
one
okay, no
already.
problem.
So this pen tool, when you select this pen tool, you can zoom into the work and use this pen tool to draw the shape you want just by clicking like this. And when you get here,
Okay, sir.
you click this and you close it. This is where you started. You close it. When you do this, just move the shape.
Yes, your screen,
You can't see
your
my
screen
shape,
is
You are
not
not seeing
showing
my
your
screen, sir.
screen. No, no.
but my it's showing me that my screen
No,
is
we can't see it, sir.
It's not showing that.
it's
Either
not showing.
internet, no, no.
Not at
It's
all.
No, it's not.
actually showing on my end.
It's showing.
The screen was okay now. He was trying to show that shape particularly. That's why I zoomed the object.
Okay. So can you see my
Okay,
screen now?
yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is what I'm
You are
saying.
seeing it.
To do this assignment, there is a tool called pen tool. Select this pen tool, zoom into this work. Start from redraw this shape. This is a secret on how to create logo. Sometimes, so you click this, you come to this end, click and close it to where you started. Now I've drawn this shape now. You can color it and this is the shape. I've recreated the shape. This is secret on how to design this assignment. Then you can use the same tool, select this, select this, um, select this, and then you have this. So you have this, you can color it to what you want. You remove the outline, then you place your text on it and select. You can pick your color like I have taught you. Pick your color. See this box here. This box is transparent. This box, that's why we can see the background small. This box is transparent. It's just like creating a white box and you select your transparency tool and you transparent it small. So when you drop this is what they did. You can see part of the background because it's transparent. Maybe it's even a blue color box. It's transparent. You can see this. So this is what this image I've downloaded it for you people, this woman's image. And I want you to go and get background, get this type of background that has this line. Find a way you can search for it, then combine the background and then place the woman image, transparent the image bottom to fill it with this blue background. And then do the next thing is that this this mega has the power clipped an image, a yellow image on top inside this mega. That is the secret. You can just use this pen tool and do this. Trace it along. Look at what they did along this part. Just do something like this. Then close it. I'm trying to close this. I've gone to click the wrong thing. This when you draw with a pen tool and it's not closed, okay, it's closed now. If it's not closed, the color will not, you can't color it completely. So you pick your yellow, this yellow, and then color it. Then remove the outline. That is what you are going to use to power clip inside the mega text you are going to create. If you notice, if you power clip this shape inside this text, it's going to go inside as you are seeing it here. That is what they did, right? So also create this shape and then use it to replicate this. I've posted this and I'm going to share, once I end this class, I'm going to share the new Telegram group. let's join there and pick up the element for the assignment, and then let's redesign it. What will show me we are committed to this thing you are learning is that you are practicing. It's a free class and you can see how I'm stretching to teach you. And I'm not teaching. Some people are saying, why are you teaching this thing? Are you teaching because you are going to die soon? I say I'm not going to die. This is what God laid in my heart to do for the year, and I'm going to do it till the end of the year. If you say I should continue upper year, I will continue. And I've worked with many ministries over time, and this is what God has placed me to do in the body of Christ, to keep coaching people on how to promote the media ministry in churches. So over time, I've learned many skills. I started as a graphic designer. I started by projecting scripture. I switched to graphics. Today, I can build a television station from scratch to the end. I can start a television station from scratch, and I will do everything, host host it, and then hand over to a team. I can train a team and hand over the TV station. So how to automate a TV station is the very last thing I've learned. How your program flow when they are reading news, all those things. I've learned everything. I know them. So e- learning as a media expert in the church is a progressive skill. So the more you practice and submit your assignment and show me that you are committed to this, my spirit will be open the more to teach you. So I want to see a great improvement from you all that you submit this assignment. Please, that will give me encouragement on Tuesday to teach you more things. This thing is like ministration. As I'm teaching, the Holy Spirit is inspiring me, telling me on things to talk about. So your own commitment to what I'm doing is what will make me to bring out more for you. So please, let's try. Do your assignment, submit it on time before the class on Tuesday. Tuesday is 8 p.m. We'll meet 8 p.m. on Tuesday to learn again. I believe the class has blessed us so far. Abi?
Mhm.
So,
Yes, please, on behalf of the attendees, I want to really appreciate you today. It was a wonderful one.
Please, I have
I really appreciate your effort.
okay, sir. Is there any question? Anyone, do you have a question?
um,
I like
I have a
teaching.
question, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead. I like teaching
I have a,
slowly so that you understand better. So that you understand better.
thank you, sir.
Okay. So ask your
One
question, sir.
question is, uh, what time are we meeting on Tuesday? And the second one is, there was a time that you said you want to go to online to get a font like that. So that time my network was not that. So I didn't know how you get the font online. So the last class we were given a particular link, a particular site where we can be getting fonts. But then this particular, I think you get the font.
Okay. What will happen? Um, I'm going to get website for you where to download both images, font, different website. I will drop it as I'll be dropping some things for you in the group. Is that correct? Is that okay?
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Mavi.
sir. Thank you.
Okay, Mavi, please. You want to ask a question?
Yes,
Your
sir.
hand is up.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah, during the class, you not mention like a group or a PhD or ECT where you can where you can actually learn from
Okay.
self and God.
Okay. I'm going to also drop
So
it.
I just wanted to
I will also drop it for us where you can learn more things. Some
like,
of these things I'm teaching,
yes, sir.
I've found they have a YouTube and a Facebook group. In fact, it's the best channel I've seen that teaches CorelDRAW so far. I learn a lot from them. It's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any other question? Or can we end? Any other question? Nothing else. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, everyone.
God bless you. Do have
God
a
bless you.
good
Do
night.
have a good night.
So we'll meet again on
So we'll
Tuesday.
meet again on Tuesday.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Good night. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you
Okay,
so
so thank
much.
you very much.
God
Thank
bless
you,
you,
sir.
everyone.
God bless everyone.
Thank you so much.
So much.